日上练啊，我们开始了啊。
Learn by doing. Learn by doing. Okay.
Actually, that's how the TCM practitioners do that. They learn by doing. Try and error.
Rather than over structured like the Western.
我是直接进哈。
对呀，你去你的助手，你助手就能看到你在开播，你就去你助手开播啊。
我看见我的。
好，大家下午好。Okay, Jason, how are you today, Dr. Jason?
Hi. This is a Friday from Singapore.
Yeah. I want to hear you. I want to hear your mic. Okay.
Hello. Testing. How's the mic, Terry?
Just stay with you. Okay. Seems okay. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Let's see.
Hello， 大家下午好，我们开播啦。
Okay.
Hello， 大家下午好。
Our voice is loud. Good.
看一下。
Okay.
发在我们的一个群里面。
Oh, I think we okay. The voice wouldn't be a big problem. I just want your voice to be more focused. So as I hear, will be better. Yeah.
这个有点挡出来，把它放下。我看这个，这是挡住了。
哦，点一开没事了，点一开就 OK。
可是文军老师，你看我们开两个哈，我们到底是看到哪里去了？
两个都看啊，这个是我开的，这个是你开的，
就是观众是看到哪一个
啊？看哪一个地方的观众了？你的观众，我的观众啊。
哦，这样子是吧？哇，很棒。Hello， 大家下午好，我看哈有5个朋友进来了。OK， 谢谢。哎，今天什么主题？文军老师，陈医生。
今天的主题是偏偏 go away。
偏 go
away。偏偏 go away， 这是我设的。你设的是不是生命中不可承受的痛？是不是？
哦。痛，我说是慢性病的痛啊，那个真的是很痛，很多慢性病。
好的，今天我们有1个小时的时间哈，我们跟大家聊聊啊，聊聊疼痛的事情。
疼痛哈。
好。所以你打算一直站在这边，还是跟我们一起聊，还是我们直接听 Jason？ 可以啊。
你跟 Jason 在聊，我在旁边，在你旁边学习。
好，可以。好，我来做一个介绍吧，来这边哈。Hello， 大家好，欢迎你们来到粉丝达人李公子的直播间。今天我这个直播间1个小时，多数的时间我会听和讲英语，因为今天请来了这位 Dr. Jason 呢，他是一位对于科学方面、医学方面有他的讲究，可是他特别的谦虚，所以于是今天我只找一个课题，就是 chronic pain。chronic pain 指的是慢性的疼痛，那我就是其中一个深受其扰的人。那同时今天我们又请来了这一位，我手指指上的这位 Summer 啊，像夏天啊，我们请来夏天啊，夏天有很多产品，他说都是很棒啊，我有点还没相信，我说我要先请问一下医生，我才试用他的产品。虽然有3个我已经上架了哈，大家可以慢慢的看啊，看的同时其实啊，也就是让自己可以走入我的世界。那我的世界是怎么样子的呢？我先跟你讲哈，我的世界有一个问题，我的世界的其中一个问题就是，骨头痛，
叹气了。
对，骨头痛。不过我会慢慢的问老师啊，问医生。好 ，We're gonna start speaking English with Jason。不过 before that, why don't we have a introduction on the 新科？Summer 你来介绍一下，让你的粉丝也可以知道一下今天你的安排。
今天哈，大家好，我的朋友们哈，我看一下，很多朋友，谢谢。安排就是说，今天我们的主题哈，就是Jason医生也给我们很好的建议。就是我们的产品哈，在这边，但是现在看不到我们的伙伴怎么办？
不看产品，先聊天，产品慢慢来，
慢慢来。
就是说，我们是以慢性对吧？我大概慢性的疼痛加急性的疼痛，我们都有解决方案。那解决方案什么呢？就是我们这些吃的特殊膳食结合我们的仪器。这个仪器像这种我们的负离子仪器这个我们已经做了2年多了，这款有很多老顾客大家都了解的。还有这一款这个生物电的这边能看得到这个生物电的你看它这边有很多就是对于腰部疼痛的，还有手痛的、膝关节痛的、脚痛的所有的疼痛解决方案，这一台机器都能搞得定的这个我们大量的老顾客，这2款机器。结合我们的特殊膳食 都是有解决方案的大概是这样子的。对，然后呢，那我们请我们的Jason医生，陈医生，您跟大家介绍一下吧，好吗
？Hello, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Jason Tan, and I'm a retired general practitioner, and now mainly focus on nutritional, functional therapy, nutritional and supplements, as well as non-invasive kind of therapy, whether it is energy ion or negative ion or bioresonance. The main thing is that it must work and produce results. As the interesting thing is, Terry got excited and got me involved in talking today about pain, not just acute pain but chronic pain. So, all of us at some time in our life will experience some sort of pain, whether it's a mild pain or a severe pain. But it's the kind of pain that is chronic, then long-standing, that is worrisome. But remember, even if it's a stomach pain or bone pain, it may be mild at certain times, but once in a while it gets serious. So for yourself, Terry, have you ever experienced back pain before?
Bad kind of pain, yes, especially on my kneecap. And I realized today among our audience here is Mr. Low, a friend who has sometimes shared with me some of his difficulties or challenges. You see, we all grow up facing a certain degree of pain. We're not talking about growing pains, being a child, and so we're talking about the real physical pain. And men know them. Because for the time we were in the army, we may be lighter, we may be swifter, but we are getting all the bombardments on our kneecap. And I had my fair share of it. Those were the days in which you need to jump down from the tree tunnel. It's easily 2.5 meters. We thought with the boots we are protected, but actually no. So over time, even before I ended my enlistment, I found that my kneecap was feeling a little bit of a strain. And over time, and after 30 years old of age, I find my kneecap seems like giving way. And I have experienced instances in which it gets swollen. I consulted Western doctors and also traditional Chinese medicine. I didn't find an answer for a while. So I was one of those who had to bear the brunt of my own body weight. Sometimes my body weight is higher, sometimes it's smaller, but all the time I had to prepare my kneecap to take that impact. So when my kneecap felt weak or painful, it was really terrible. What I can recall as the most excruciating pain has been on my kneecap. So I know, Jason, you have been a keen observer of pain, chronic pain, and how it can be managed. Would you shed some light on my condition?
So the first advice for people who are older you give is anybody above the age of 55 or 60 or more is 3 words: don't fall down. Why do we say that? The moment they fall down and have any injury or pain, it becomes a long-standing issue. What used to take a quick to recover may now take a long time to recover. That's the reason. But coming back to what Terry says, remember those of you who do national service or those young people who like to go jogging. Let me give you an example. My younger sister, who is 6 years younger than me, called me from Hawaii and said, "Oh, you say I need to go for knee surgery." I said, "What? Why do you need knee surgery?" So my knee got the issue. This is in Hawaii, not Singapore. She said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "Oh, my knee, the bone there is very serious. The bone there is getting weak, osteonecrosis and all that kind of rubbish." As luck would have it, her friend's father happened to be a professor and then took a look at the x-ray and said, "No, this is not." So the first rule is whenever you got a serious diagnosis, ask for a second opinion. Don't just trust one and end up with an operation that you do not need. So what did she do next? Listen to her. Remember, this is a person who loved to jog when she was young. So if you over jog and you put too much impact on your knees, you will get knee problems when you grow older. This is common sense. If you drive a car, the tires will wear out. Common sense. Okay. So now what happened to her was all she did was do yoga for 1-2 years, and not only knee pain disappear, could walk normally, no operation. So the answer is there are always solutions that do not require surgery. Like, remember the poor woman, so young, and then had to told that she might go for knee replacement. Can you imagine what it means? There are good and bad points. There are moments where you may need an operation when the pain is so bad until you can't stand it anymore. You can't functionally do your activities of daily living. Then by that means that's the last resort. But nowadays we have solutions. Like for example, Terry here.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's too bad, go for knee surgery.
Okay.
Can you imagine this is your first line of advice? That's really distressing. So the more important thing, if it's your knee issue, there are now solutions. More important, after this, I'll be introducing him to something. But more importantly is, do you still jog?
I don't. I've stopped that.
Yeah,
I just walk, brisk walking.
Yeah, walking will do with good shoes. But the other thing is things like yoga and even Tai Chi. The Australian Health Ministry has in fact, and the orthopedics departments have actually recommended Tai Chi as a management, as a way of managing knee issues. Can you imagine? Australian government, Australian ministry. So the thing is, as Chinese, don't be too quick to throw off some of our old traditions. Other countries, including Western ones, embrace our tradition and our some of our talents and some of our culture for health reasons besides others. So remember that don't be open to learnings, be open to, let's say, whether it is Jamu, traditional Indonesian Malay medicine, or even Ayurvedic, or in our case, Chinese herbal. Okay, so the thing got me involved with Summer and Sinki is because when she first showed me these products from China, I was thinking, oh no, another Chinese product. No, because let's be honest, after one of our broadcasts the other day, somebody gave us this feedback. See, after the debacle of the Chinese milk debacle, remember?
Yes.
The contaminated milk melamine. Say, so people's memory is there, and then the Chinese will have to find some way of rebranding themselves,
Yes.
So can you imagine when I saw this and I say, oh, someone said, this is her means of sourcing from top universities, top military universities, top universities in China, and also top professors who do their research.
Yeah.
To me, I heard that before. We also know about Harvard Medical School and the top universities. But what is so special? So she showed me some, and that we'll be discussing soon a few. But the main thing is, so you get reputable researchers and people who also reputable production line to make sure it's quality, and also then sold in hospitals and also pharmacies, government pharmacies in China, not the common small family corner medicine shop. So to me, okay, some credibility, I'm reassured. But then let me look at the details. Let me look at the medical studies. Let me look at the research. Sorry, medically trained, you're looking for studies to confirm. Because not only for yourself, not only for me to use personally, but for friends and relatives, and also people who are clients to use. You want to make sure you recommend them things that are safe and also must be effective. Yes, effective, but also must be safe. Actually, the first rule is must be safe. Then only talk about effective. Okay. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Not promoting, but one of the products that got me interested was this thing called Bone Nimble, or they call osteoplasmin. So what is special about this is the product that they use to recommend for bones, for osteoporosis as well as osteoarthritis. So I was thinking, wow, these are big words to swallow. As you know, one of the problems, as we grow older, over the decades, our bone gets thinner, so we are more prone to injury, more prone to fracture. Okay, if it's fracture, then it's fracture. But the point is, even if you have small falls and sprains, there will be little cracks in the spine, and that will lead to small pain. The minor pain over time, as you grow older, become the big pain. But more importantly is, if you don't take care of it, can you imagine you're trying to sleep and there's a pain on your back? The pain will then affect your sleep. The pain will also affect your daily work. You just sitting down can be painful. Can you imagine if you are a person who is desk bound and just sitting down causes you a lot of pain? That means sitting down for ordinary work is a torture. So it's not a joke. So what got me interested in this particular product is, it's not just about what the Western approach is. I give you calcium, vitamin D, that should work. But then what they are saying is not so easy. Hold on there. So the approach is more surprisingly holistic. So within this product, they have cucumber seeds that has calcium, vitamin D, and a lot of other things. They also have bovine, that means cow bone collagen. They have enzymatic hydrolysis of fish bone. They also have inulin and vitamin. Why do they have so many different things? Because like typical Chinese approach to a solution, they want the different herbs or products to work together in synergy so that you get a better overall effect. So I was thinking, they're very good theory, but does it pan out in real life? So in terms of their studies, what they find that this is very useful. So what happens is, if a person has a fracture, for ordinary use, you eat one tablet twice a day. But if let's say you sustain a fracture and have to recover from a fracture, then you can take up to 2 twice a day, up to 5 a day, in fact. So the thing is, this simple approach to help injury recover faster if you have an injury. If it's not, then you're talking about maintenance. Remember, if above the age of 40, you have thinning of bones. The thinning of bones makes you even more prone to minor injuries and fractures. Then when you talk about bone, it's not just about the big bones, but also in terms of the spine. Remember, so let's imagine if you sprain the spine and you bend and the thing, and the slip disc comes out and press on the nerve. That is not a joke. That is a consequence of this. No? But in terms of Terry's situation, the knee issue, as I'm sure those of us who are here, whether young or old, have heard of osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis is this knee situation where over the years wear and tear, the cartilage is worn away, just like the tire of a car. It gets worn away. Then it means there's no cushioning of the two bones, and that's where it leads to pain. And that kind of pain, sooner or later, may lead, if not careful, to knee replacement. But before we talk about knee replacement, nowadays, even in because of the Western approach and also research, there are also other approaches. The doctor will give you an injection of the lubricant to reduce the rubbing of the knees. And nowadays, those who follow up, they have what is called PRP, platelet-rich plasma, where they extract blood from you, take the plasma out, takes the active ingredient and inject back into your knee. So there are this way. Before you go for knee replacement, all these should be considered. But sometimes people don't realize that there are such solutions. They don't pressure the doctor or their specialist consultant to get this kind of treatment. So the first rule is always get a second opinion. Second rule is do your own research. It's your body. You don't take responsibility for it. Nobody is going to take responsibility for you. Fair, Terry? Okay.
Yeah,
so that's very important. So in terms of this product itself, the more interesting thing is, so this is also touted for osteoarthritis, which is the pain of this joint, wear and tear of joint. So it's not just about the bone; it's also for joint pains. So in terms of pain, yes, there is a painkiller that you must take. If it's so painful until you feel like killing yourself, by all means, see the Western doctor, get the emergency injection or for relieve the pain, so that you don't end up depressed and wanting to kill yourself. But beyond that, what must you do after that? Before you consider surgery or after surgery, you must make sure you have a system that enables your bones and your joint to recover. And that is what I'm talking about. Quite often after the surgery, okay, that's it. If you don't maintain your bone or your joint after surgery, it's going to come back. Like, for example, after a person has a heart bypass surgery or a stent and they think they're free and easy, all the bypass surgery and stent does is save you from dying immediately during that hour or that day. But remember, after the surgery, does not mean you can not, in 2-3 years time, you may end up with another surgery. So you must make sure you do in terms of your diet or the lifestyle, to not end up with another surgery or another stent. The record holder I have is a client who has 7 stents done and still ended up with bypass surgery. This is the most amusing case I have. But we will talk about it another time when we talk about heart products. So remember, besides just the usual story about calcium and vitamin D, there are other approaches, and this is one of them. A more total approach to how you manage osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. By all means, continue your painkiller, and then remember, ask your doctor for the safest painkiller that they have, rather than the usual Ponstan or Indosit. There are now good ones that won't harm your stomach, won't cause gastric. So remember, your relative or your children or who do is, Mom, go and ask the doctor for this good one. It won't cause gastric. There are good ones now. Don't always accept the one that is the lowest common denominator. Remember, yes, there's medical care, but it's also a business, and there's a costing, there's a profit and loss involved. And then the thing is, you don't want to be ending up with the one with maybe the cheapest but with the most side effect. So again, I ask you, it's up to you to educate yourself and request, ask. Okay, no harm asking the doctor. Okay.
Oh, Dr. Jason, thanks very much. I noticed the way I asked you a question just now kind of draw you to address the question of symptoms. My symptoms is pain, and the pain will affect my walking and my mood, even my sleep and so on. So I'm going to ask you something a little bit more about what it seems to remind me of. But before that, allow me just to do a quick summary in English and then followed by Mandarin. I hear from you that we go through life, there are ups and downs, we have to face it. And when it comes to the bodily wellness, pain is one of the things that drop us from the sense of wellness. And instead of just bearing with it, there are ways to look at it. However, we seem, at least during my generation, we trust medical advice too much. It's better to get not just one but two advices, because they could give us a broader picture.
When doubt, us always seek for a second or third opinion.
That's right.
That's the thing.
And when we do that, maybe we can avoid the most traumatic of all things, like surgery, because there's no turning back. So it kind of leads me to think that if you can avoid surgery, then you resort to medicine. If you can use supplements, you avoid medicine. If you can use food, avoid supplements. Something I heard elsewhere, but I'm going to seek your opinion on this, which is what I hear nowadays as, instead of totally medicine like pharmaceuticals, we can go for nutrition, nutraceuticals as well. But I'll save it for a while later. As I hear you, I also hear that you want to encourage us to take responsibility for ourselves, because ultimately it's our own body. So we can't just hear from one side only or not hear, but we need to take a decision and even take care of us post-surgery. If surgery is the only option, take care of it, take care of ourselves, because we want to end the nightmare there and then and not have to relive it. What's the point of having one surgery after another? We want to solve the problem once and for all. And you are therefore reminding me that prevention perhaps is a lot better than cure. And prevention can take place before any surgery is needed, but it definitely takes place right after any surgery, and we should end it all there. 中文我想跟大家总结一下，今天跟 Dr. Jason 聊了，我感觉有3大点。第一就是疼痛跟烦恼一样，是人生的常态。然而我们不需要太被动。被动的意思就是只听一面之词，哪怕是医生的，搞不好2个医生会有2个不同的观点。不妨多听一下，尤其是你心里在告诉你我好像不是很确定，那不要怕不好意思，可以多问一个专业人士。医生是专业的，可是专业人士也有可能有不同的观点，而我们所求的就是到底我们现在的治疗方案到底是最适合我们的吗？那我们知道手术是真的迫不得已才会要的，能够避开手术就吃点药，如果能避开药更好，就吃保健品。如果食物能够足够的代替保健品的话，那就吃就好了。因为我们的身体是自己的，而且身体是自己最好的医生，唯有自己疗愈才是真正的疗愈。吃任何的药，哪怕不是，就算不是是药3分毒的话，药本身都是外来的东西，它只是治我们的症状。刚才我问医生，我说我的膝盖痛，他没有问我很多，他直接告诉我症状是如何去对待。所以待会我要问他，如果说我有其他的办法，例如不单单是吃药，不单单是动手术的话，有没有一种结合营养的营养学以及药剂学结合在一起，英文叫 nutraceuticals 的话，是不是我们可以预防胜于治疗呢？那如果真的能预防胜于治疗的话，也许它就像历代的中医都会把自己分成上中下。那所谓的上等的医生他是帮助我们得到启发，预防胜于治疗。中庸的医生待会我讲，那下的医生是什么？其实下医本身就是那些你痛我给你止痛药，那止痛药现在也有更好的，大家如果真的只能吃止痛药的话，吃那些不会有后遗症的不会伤你的肝或胃的。然而什么是中庸的医呢？中庸的医它会告诉你一些可以让你帮助自己不要生病最好啦。 要真的生病了，有症状了，帮助你快速的解决症状，而不会有后遗症的，那也挺不错啦。这样子结合起来，就意味着我们最终要对自己负责。一旦我们不对自己负责的话，我们可能这个噩梦一而再再而三的动手术啦，吃很重的药啦。我相信没有人想要成为一个平时不养生，老来养医生，没有人想这样子的。所以今天我能从 Dr. Jason 这边听到这3大点呢，我很荣幸。我想继续再听他用英语娓娓道来，什么是 nutraceuticals？ 为什么他也看到了在中西南北有新的一种方案，结合起来也可以帮助到我们的。Dr. Jason，Would you indulge us in what you have found to be this very interesting emerging trend called nutraceuticals?
Yeah, let's not forget that thousands of years ago when Hippocrates, the one that doctors take the Hippocratic oath based on, his original teaching was let food be thy medicine. That means whatever you're eating, let that be the one that is healing you. And nowadays we seem to be going back to that, and also in terms of more plant-based products. So the general advice nowadays is want to take food, avoid processed food, take more vegetables, and then so as to increase the fiber, and then the amount that you take so as to not increase weight and end up with metabolic syndrome, overweight, hypertension, or diabetes. So learning about food has become more important. For myself, when we were in university, we only had 4 lectures on carbohydrate, protein, and fats and vitamins. So it was, can you think about it? For your entire life, you only had 4 lectures or less, or slightly more only. So to me, that's shocking. There should be more. And nowadays, there are doctors who specialize. They are called nutritional specialists. They only teach you about how to eat, plus how to use food to heal yourself. That should be the way to go, because of the fact that the way things are, if we are not careful, we end up with more and more expensive healthcare. So let's not talk about it. Nowadays, the trend is to study about anti-cancer and also longevity. Everybody wants to live longer. Who doesn't want to live longer, right? All of us want to live longer, live to be 100. The target now is 120, by the way. Yes. And when you reach 120, they believe that within a decade, it will be 140. So the thing is, people are chasing after the El Dorado, that live forever, 长生不老, right?
长生不老,
yeah,
金属吗?
but the point here is, the lesson here is, if you live to be 100, but the last 20 of your life you are sick, bedridden, or in and out of hospital, that's not the way to live. So nowadays we are talking more about health span. Yes, you want to live to be 100, but you want to be as healthy as possible until the last few weeks of your life or last few months of your life. That means your health span should be like 99 to 99 and a half if your lifespan is 100. That's the right way to do. So let's now focus on health span. That means focus on being healthy, prevention of illness, wellness. So the thing is, this spectrum is important, because when we talk about so-called healthcare, most of us will know that actually when you go to hospital and all this, it's not about healthcare. It's about sick care. They are taking care of you when you're sick. That is not healthcare. That's sick care. So focusing on the right thing is important. So if you are talking about wellness, then it's a whole spectrum. After, for me right now to then get started. My sister just came back from London and was telling me that she went through a program. I said, what program? So she showed me on her phone, it's an app. You cannot get the app unless you see your GP, in their case, the National Healthcare. And then the doctor enrolls you, then you can get the app. The app, you can go in Google, it's called Aviva, A-V-I-V-A. So when you get the app, you will then log in, then they will give you a personalized approach to your app. Personalized healthcare, either by phone call or using your app. And then what happens is you monitor your food. There's every 2 weeks you will have a lesson. And then they'll tell you to take photo of your food and so that you can monitor each day what you eat.
Yes.
You take the photo for the food, not for the doctor, for yourself. So that 2 weeks down the road, hey, I'm really improving. I'm now really taking only like 1/4 of carbohydrate or rice or bread or protein. And then this protein is the meat and all that. So the more important thing is, this thing is about changing your behavior.
Yes.
So they are doing it for older folks, but this should be started. To me, I rather start this in primary school. Then it becomes a habit. But the other good thing about this program is she told me what? No binge learning. So what do you mean by no binge learning? That means, you know, there are about 20 lessons, right? You cannot learn lesson 1 that I've completed, go jump to lesson 2. No way. After 2 weeks, then you can log into lesson 2 because it's locked out. The reason is they want you to focus on each task, practice. You know, the word is practice. Those of us who do meditation or do Buddhist practice, you know, practice, you must practice that skill for the 2 weeks. And then you get better and better. You can look backwards, but you cannot try to cheat and go and learn lesson 3 or 5 when you're at lesson 1 or 2. And that's the beauty of it. Don't stress. Learn it like quite natural. And then within 1 year, she's showing me how she did it. It's so internalized. So I was thinking, you're doing it for old folks. You should be doing it for young people.
Yes.
Because the thing is, by the time you learn the bad habit, it's too late.
Yes.
So simple question to ask. You know, we know that people get plaques and later on they get blockages of the heart arteries. How old do you think these blockages, these plaques start? No? At what age do you think it starts? Do you think?
I guess 10, 11.
Sorry to tell you, it's younger than that.
Even younger than that?
So it starts very young.
No.
So you should start relatively young.
Yeah.
So even primary school may be too late, but you at least get started. Then you're careful regarding what you eat, the amount you eat. So this training, by the time you start, after you get into trouble in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, it's a little bit late. If we really value our people, especially in Singapore, we always tell, we don't have resources, but we have one thing. What do we have? Singaporeans, we have our people, and our people are actually very precious to us.
Certainly.
Okay? So if our people are precious, we should take them with tender, loving care. That's why the government sends so much resources and nowadays updating and spending more on healthcare and then healthier Singapore, aging well and all that. This is right, but don't do it for the old folks when it's a bit late. We should start it when we are. So the programs that we are targeting for the old folks should be targeted at young. So this is about education. Education is everything. So education not just in terms of nutrition, but also in terms of exercise. But those of us who want to live forever actually are not crazy about people who over-exercise. If you over-exercise and damage your knees or damage your spine, excuse me, okay? And then the thing is, by all means, the most important thing is movement and stretching. Those people who do yoga know the stretching and the movement is very important. Those people who do Tai Chi or those kind of slow movement exercise, that is a smart way to go. So I'm trying to tell you very politely, if you want to hammer your knees until you get osteoarthritis at the age of 40 or 50, you got 50 more years to use your knees. It's not a good idea. Yes, you say, can I always go for a knee replacement? Oh, Terry, are you excited about knee?
Oh, no, I'm not excited about that.
You rather do your yoga, you rather do your Tai Chi, right? And do your what he does brisk walking.
Brisk walking.
Very smart. That's a smart way. Even brisk walking must wear good shoes.
Yes.
So the thing is the impact on these are the simple things of prevention. So when you talk about health, again, remember teaching since people and our resource are our wealth, starting from young to me is very important. Of course, take care of the old. But remember, when you talk old, then it becomes an issue. Okay, now I want to share with you a piece of knowledge that people do not know. So the thing is, when I was a young medical house officer, I had to sign a death cert, and this person was 90 plus years old, had no heart attack, no stroke. So I put down that old age as a cause of death. They called me up and said, excuse me, you have to change the diagnosis. He said, why? Old age is not allowed to write as a cause of death. Those days. But now, a few years ago, about I think 6 or 7 years ago, now you can write old age as a cause of death. Why? WHO finally accept that old age is a disease.
Old age is a disease?
Yes. Terry, you're so knowledgeable. You meet so many incredible people. You didn't know that old age is a disease. If it's not a disease, you cannot write it as a cause of death.
Okay.
So now that we know that old age is a disease, people like Dr. David Sinclair, those who follow longevity studies in Harvard Medical School, they're also trying to tell you old age is the disease. That means as you grow older, it's not natural that you must have they are actually what call it senescent cells that make you grow old, are part of the aging process, damage the telomeres. So for those who want to live longer, this is common knowledge. So if you want to live longer but healthier, you have to get to know this. Because how to make sure not only live long but live healthy. This is what it's all about nowadays. Why do we do this? Because we got no choice. With the aging population, whether China, whether the Western world, USA and UK or Europe, And even in Singapore, you know about the aging population, right? The aging population is not just about people aging, but the fact that young people don't want to get married. You want to get married, also don't want to have children. You rather have a fur baby, you know, get a pet. This is not a joke. So this has become not just a population issue, but also an economic issue of the future. This is true. But more importantly, let's come back to health. So as you talk about aging, as you grow older, it's aches and pains. Why? Remember the bones getting soft, the muscles also getting stiff. But the real reason is actually something called that oxidation. Oxidation and damage, oxidants causing damage to the muscles and the tissue. Some people call it glycation. So the thing is, you know, that's why the movement is so important. So suddenly we see the old folks doing this, the movement is very important. So when you see any old folk walking normally, that is an achievement. If you can walk the same distance and the same way at 40 years old and 60 years old and 80 years old, you're doing fine. But is it only walking on? Excuse me, for people who can't walk, walking is an achievement. Especially if you walk and have pain, then you appreciate people who can walk with no pain. So pain is one of the indicators of maybe aging. But it's not just about that. There's also a warning sign. Then one of the things we want to talk about, since we are on the subject, is stomach pain. How many people here after a heavy meal suffer from bloatedness, feel very bloated, flatulence? 很胀啊，
对，胃胀。
So that's one, overeat or cannot digest. That's early symptoms of the fact that maybe the digestion is poor. The liver maybe not producing enough bile, or the stomach not producing enough acid, or issues starting to get started, or the movement of the intestine is not proper, so that then there's bloatedness. And then nowadays we're even more knowledgeable regarding the fact that in our intestine there's bacteria, what we call the intestinal flora, that is affected. Whether you accidentally have flu and cough, and then you go and see the doctor, and then they accidentally or over prescribe prescribe the antibiotic. Yes, the antibiotic killed the germs in the throat, but also killed the good bacteria in your gut. And now you're in trouble. Now you're in trouble. The thing is, then you're more prone to bloatedness. But the gut not only the health of the gut not only is about prevention of bloatedness, it's also about prevention of a lot of other illnesses. Because the good bacteria in your gut is your first line, it's your army, that protects you. So if it's affected, then the bad germs then allow it to go through your gut, called leaky gut, and then it affects your bloodstream. And then now we're getting the autoimmune illnesses. So a simple thing like bacteria in your gut that is normal is important. That's why I'm sure a lot of them, besides Yakult, they spend a lot of money buying probiotic kind of pills. Then that's another subject, but that's why this is also interesting. So when you talk about a product like this for gut, it's very interesting because it's not just about the gut. It's also about making sure the stomach is healthy, the acidity is good, but also remember they also include things like probiotic, because now we know how important it is. So whether it's China or elsewhere, as long as it's modern approach to production of supplements or nutraceuticals, they know the importance of probiotic. Even as they are giving you something to help your stomach for the acidity, for the intestine. So it's more a total approach, again, rather than just one thing. Antacid, proton pump inhibitor, this is more like a total approach, a holistic approach. So just want to let you know, when you have a product like this, it's quite interesting. So what they actually have is in fact things like what I call it, from different plant products and all that, so as you get the not just the fiber but also the probiotic. Okay.
Yeah. If I may just summarize what I've just heard from Dr. Jason, I think an interesting term he introduced after responding to nutraceuticals. I understand nutraceuticals as the combination study of nutrition and pharmaceutical. He responded saying that in his training days, he had only very little exposure, limited exposure to nutrition. He thought that is quite a shame. But given his professional life, he could easily catch up on it. And that's why it's no surprise to him that finally much more attention is warranted and now actually given to nutrition as a way of natural healing. He also cited Hippocrates, which is the father of all modern medicine or Western medicine. Had all doctors take note that food should be where we should get our help from. The healing should come from food. Some people contend, of course,
let food be thy medicine.
Let food be thy medicine. So if you have that in mind, that is what we call 食疗, which is food as the healer, which is very common in Eastern medicine as well. There's some common in this wisdom. And I think from there, Dr. Jason also reminded us that it's not how many years you have in your life, it's the life that you put into your years. That means even granted that now you don't live to 90, no, you live to 120, 140, but so what? Don't you want to have quality life? Let's give it a name. It's no longer called lifespan. It's called health span. Health, as in what quality you enjoy out of your life. If you're healthy, you are like having that one before all the zeros. It means millions and billions. Without health as that singular digit one, everything is just zeros. And zeros don't mean too much, right? Let's have that singular one there for us. So I'm from Dr. Jason and reminded of that. He went on to share about some product which amazed him. I think this is a remarkable, open-minded, Western-trained general practitioner who is happy to open his eyes and his ears to all the influences that could help his patients and therefore all of us, which is we will draw on various
nowadays
things.
There are more and more doctors like me who follow this, and then I'm so heartened as I see the young people embrace this, because then the future is better and healthier for Singaporeans. So but the thing is, on the other hand, because of the slow pace of our development, we are way behind other countries in terms of certain approaches, being open to new approaches.
OK， 好，我用中文来翻译并且总结一下刚才 Dr. Jason 给到我们的一些重要的意见哦。他是认为我们活着都有一定的时间，可是活着本身是要有价值的，所以不单单只是时间的维度而已，更是一种品质。有品质的生活，那也就意味着从70到80到90，甚至往后我们的长寿到120到140，我们都是非常有高品质的活着。那高品质的活着离不开某些药物的帮助，可他主张我们不要只单纯靠药物，因为毕竟药物只是对症下药，那是症状而已。而我们的生活当中遇到的问题的根本的解决，完全可以从食物。就像是西方医学的鼻祖 Hippocrates 也是主张我们要从食物中得到疗效，俗称食疗这样的智慧中西是贯通的，因此有了营养学和药剂学的结合，不单单是药，而是有食品，而不单单是食品，而是有营养的食品。说到营养的食品，必须要好好的吸收。刚才他提出了某一些食品也是食品级的药物，或者是有疗效的食品，从他最近的观察当中有了，我也这边也上架了这产品让大家看。他具体的提出尤其我们民以食为天，要吃东西吃的时候气胀是很难受的，怎么办呢？其实我们可以按照这个适度的去吃一些刚才所推荐的一种保健品对我们是有帮助的这很不错。我很想继续再听 Dr. Jason 在做分享，所以我想听他最近他也观察了一些医生比较开明，愿意结合各种的优势给到我们更好的消息。我想从他这边再了解一下这些消息意味着我们接下来的生活会有什么不同，而且我们可以从医学当中可以长什么样的知识。So Dr. Jason, may I pick your brains further on your observations of what is the wise way, clever way for us to live, making the best of nutrition, making the best of Western and Eastern medicine to make our life of a higher quality.
So let's get clear here. I'm not like some doctors or alternative who say that, okay, all Western medicine is rubbish, all Western medicine is poison. I think that's very dishonest. If you have an emergency, you have an accident, or you have a stroke, you still need to go to the hospital for an emergency operation, right? So how can that be bad? The Western doctor's job is to then save your life. So for acute care, acute medicine, I think nothing beats Western medicine. when you think about it. Save your life within a matter of minutes, hours, or within 24 hours. So remember, you must put everything has its use. So don't be too quick to operation. But on the other hand, then we must be open to new approaches. Whether it's energy medicine or people who use bioresonance, as long as you show proof that there is changes. And then nowadays there are equipment to measure. For example, my world changed when the friend showed me a device. It was kind enough, Dr. Michael Tan. I practice Reiki at Qigong. I said, that's very interesting. See, Jason, I show you something. So he proceeded to check the measurements for my different meridians and gave me a summation of what is my level of qi. I said, what? You can measure my qi? I said, it's like blood pressure. If somebody can measure your blood pressure, then they can monitor it, then can know whether that medicine works or not. But if they can measure your qi and monitor your qi, then you can know that for people with very low qi, instead of the average of 70 to 90, when it goes down to below 50, 20, that person is more prone to cancer, also to chronic illnesses. That kind of knowledge is priceless. So I asked him, how come you never recommend to the doctors to use this? I said, that's the problem. You see, there is such devices and yet it's not embraced. To me, it's a little bit sad. More likely to be embraced in where? China, some places in America, but the Russians actually are very good at this. Okay. So the thing is, be open, and then yes, you're worried in case the thing is not really working. Then you have more thorough ways of measuring it, but don't be too quick to dismiss it. Okay. So the other thing that we want to talk about is when you talk about illnesses is, for example, recently it's become very fashionable. Anybody with gout?
Yeah. I know someone with gout.
Gout is a very common issue, and we all know, right? If you take too much red meat, you take too much things with purine, sardine, and all that, or alcohol, then you can get gout. Those people with gout know. Then they have to take medicine. The medicine for treatment is there. It's called allopurinol. Very good. You take 3 tablets, then after that you can get naughty, eat a lot of foods that can cause gout. But the point is, because of the fact that that particular product can cause severe allergy and certain kind of dangerous skin condition, as good as bad. So you can't use a good medicine because of the risk of side effects. Okay. So now you use the next alternative. Those of you who have gout know, you go to see the GP, then they'll give you a medicine called colchicine. And then this is the instruction. Take until you have diarrhea. The moment you have diarrhea, then you stop.
Wow. That's not overdose. It's just diarrhea.
No. It's just that once you take the side effect, but then you start to work. But these are a little bit sad. So imagine my surprise when I end up finding this product. 你们心灵素心灵素是那个gout的那个尿酸的。So there's this product that they have. I say yes. So does it act fast? Yeah, it can act well. As you take it, within a matter of, let's say, 2-3 weeks, if you have gout, you will then reduce the level and then you won't get it. But especially for the early period, if you take a higher dose, then the pain will go faster. But more important thing is, then what's inside? What's inside is, again, things that are nutraceutical. Like, for example, 它有那个什么的what you got ginseng product. They have what I call that some of the probiotic. They also have other plant-based products. But the other more interesting thing is, when they talk about this, they say high uric acid. We worry about gout for pain. Actually, worry about gout for pain and kidney stones. But I noticed they were quite interesting. They also worry about gout and diabetes. Say, that's interesting. Gout and kidney trouble, gout and blood vessel problem, and gout and hypertension. So nowadays, when we measure about gout, the doctor say, yours is way above 7. 7 is our marker. Above 7, 9, 10, 11. That's why you got gout. So 7 is the marker. But nowadays, even in Western medicine, we know that people at 5.5 already starting their issues. What kind of issues? If 5.5, you're not having any pain, but they are worried for you. Why are they worried for you? Now we know that even at 5.5, your risk of getting diabetes, high blood pressure, and other metabolic problems already increased. So now, when you go back and look at your blood studies, the one that when you go to the polyclinic or see the GP and do the yearly checkup, go and see yours. If it's more than 5.5, go and see your doctor again. Say, now I want to do something about it. Remember, do something about it means taking advice regarding what to do regarding the kind of food, low purine foods to avoid.
Yeah.
Okay. More importantly is those of you who any friends with gout, then they'll tell you, the other day so unlucky, I took the durian and then after that my pain came back. Gout can be knee pain or toe pain or thumb pain. Most of us do not know this, but actually taking too much fruits, fructose, can trigger a gout attack. Do you know that?
Oh, and nowadays I heard that fructose is not something we need, and to fight it, we need to use a lot of insulin. And if the uric acid is turned from sugar into uric acid, and then it becomes an attack in our own internal blood vessels.
Terry, because of the nature of his work, interviews all sorts of interesting people. So his knowledge base is very wide. So that's why it's interesting. Very fortunate for us, Summer and I, to actually have him with us because of his base of knowledge. So when you notice when he asks the question, he's asking from a base of knowledge, wide knowledge, because of the different people he meets and he interviews. And I'm very heartened that he's interviewing me. But coming back to this gout issue, so uric acid is not just about gout. Uric acid is also about other forms of metabolic conditions, diabetes, cholesterol, and then blood vessel issues, as well as inflammation. So remember, don't go and say, oh, mine is 7 only, so lucky, or 6, very lucky. You want it around 5.5 and below. Okay, so it becomes important, the measure of it. Something that's there that we measure, but we ignored it just because we did not know any better. So that's why always always be open to new learnings. And remember, as doctors and specialists, we are also researching, and as people bring in new research, then we know. Like for example, we never knew that there's such a thing as senescent cells. What is senescent cells? That means there are cells that are actually making you age. Somebody had to go and be interested in helping people to live longer, his life mission, his passion, and then go and do research, and then find out there are such things. And then, for example, just I won't mention the product, but just to get you excited, so you search the internet. Somebody has actually invented a product that if you take for, let's say, up to a year, can reverse your biological age by about 8.5 years.
Become younger.
Yeah, biological age.
逆龄.
So there's such a thing. So reversal of aging becomes a new field of interest. Not just anti-aging.
Yeah.
Anti-aging means just slows down the aging. Your vitamin C, your NMN, but nowadays they're looking for products that can help to reverse the age of your cells. This is the new field of medicine. So when you think about this, the ancient Chinese dream of Chang Sheng Bu Lao, not so stupid after all, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes these are ancient dreams, but in the modern world, over the next 1-2 centuries, can become reality. If somebody told you, even just 20 years ago, that we have AI, that just by using an app, asking a few questions, can answer everything using almost all the knowledge that's available in the world, ChatGPT-4, you wouldn't believe me, right? But people like Terry now, you're using this kind of AI, like right?
Yes, it helps.
Common knowledge now, right? So that's why, in terms of, so my excitement here is, just because the thing is from China doesn't mean that China doesn't have the technology. A case in point, I was just giving a talk the other day to an audience that, remember Huawei invented Mate 60 Pro, right? 60,
yeah.
The West was shocked. How can it be possible? They quickly opened out the thing and look what's inside, and they can't believe what they find. This thing as good as a 5 or 7 nanometer a chip. You can't believe it. So they are very upset. Very upset. You should be thanking China for bringing the world to the next level, right?
Yeah.
So this is similar. The idea that you use a different way of thinking rather than just Western thinking to find a new solution to a problem by finding different ingredients to make sure you get a synergistic effect that also there hardly or no side effects. This should be we should be proud of this achievement. So I was asking them, this thing's so fantastic. How come the whole world don't know? Then there are 2 issues. I realized there are 2 issues. Maybe it's because it's made in China. So some people have negative issues, as you know. At the moment, the geopolitical issue. But then that's the other issue. To the Chinese, I got 1.4 billion people market. Why would I bother selling it to the rest of the world? You know, it's a kind of cultural arrogance. But it's not that. It's common sense. If we do business, sell to 1.4 million people or 5.5 million people in Singapore. So I always thank Summer for bringing this thing to Singapore. This is incredible thing. This is just for the gout alone.
Okay.
So afterwards, I didn't have a chance. After I show you something. But more importantly, so gout pain is not a joke. If you can prevent the gout pain, it's really fantastic. But then you can also help prevent not just the pain, but also in taking this, in reducing your uric acid, reduces your risk of diabetes, as well as kidney disease, as well as help your blood vessels. What more to ask for? So remember to ask Summer, 华语叫什么名？
华语叫那个上面有写啊。
心灵素 ，OK， 心灵素 ，no， OK， 心灵素。
呀，
心灵素，它有一个心灵素复合植物精华片啊，下面这个。
You begin to see why I support her in her project. If I tell you 2 other products, you probably freak out.
这样子的，尿酸高、嘌呤高哈。如果急性的话呢，我们建议一次性吃6片哈。
This is just this is a special peptide. I want to talk about it a little bit just to get people excited regarding the technology.
有60片啊，一瓶有60片。对，陈医生，你看吃法，你跟他们讲解一下吧，怎么吃法哈。
So, don't mind.
Go ahead.
So the whole idea is, yes, we have products that can help in illnesses and help with not really just treat the acute condition, which is possible, but also to help soothe the chronic condition and prevent the chronic condition. And then what I call nutraceuticals, botanicals, which is very safe. There are other, if I told you there are 2 botanical products, one from Japan and one from Taiwan that can be used to treat cancer, you must be asking, you must be joking. But that's not the subject here, so we will not go further. Just know that go and hunt for it on the internet. But the other thing I wanted to share with Terry since he's here is, you know, I'm sure all of you have heard of peptide and all this peptide. You know, why is it Thai? Thai. So this particular one from Sinker is called small molecule complex peptide. You know, and it has fish collagen peptide, fresh bovine collagen peptide, ginseng peptide, bonito elastin, walnut peptide, gelatin peptide, oyster peptide, crocodile oligopeptide powder. So it has different peptides from different ones to assist in different conditions, besides improving immunity, also reducing inflammation. Because I've seen other people produce their peptide from elsewhere, very expensive, but only one particular type. And it's mainly just to supply you with the amino acids. But this particular one is for you to handle a lot of conditions. So what happens is, it is not just for improving joint problems, but also, according to it, can also help reduce hangover effects. I don't drink much, so not much use for me. For gastric ulcer, to help gastric improvement. For endocrine problems, female menopause, as well as blood deficiency symptoms, healthy regulation of the liver, and then eliminate fatigue, memory loss, and then enhance the cell vitality, improve immunity, improve sexual function. That one gets me interested. Improve hypoxia tolerance, improve cognitive impairment. So as you grow older with the elderly population, for those with dementia becomes important. And then also good conditioning or type 2 diabetes. But what is a peptide? A peptide is just a small chain of amino acids. When you take protein from meat, it gets broken down. It gets broken down into smaller strands. When it's small enough, then we call it a peptide. And the peptide of strength depends up to about 5 to 21 molecules. That is a peptide. But more importantly, is they are made from amino acids. So the essential amino acids that are there, your body will then know how to use. But using from different sources, so it enables you to get the different effects. So there's such a thing. Just know that this is the one that is from outside the cells. 抱歉，可以帮忙我吗？那个信号，
这个黄甘素是吗？
要一个，我又给他们看。So when I tell the story of this, actually it brings tears to my eyes. So just imagine, you are this Japanese researcher, you are in Changzhou, Hebei, And you found this fruit, no? Very interesting, this fruit that is in this place. They call it, a silk, kuhum is a plant, a fruit. And then they found in this fruit, in China, the amount of CAMP, a very important product that is essential in the body, in cells, is 1,000 to 10,000 times that is in cells. So they got so excited, they try to tell the world about it. Okay, so in fact, the CAMP, cyclic amine adenosine monophosphate, has been mentioned in 2 Nobel Prizes. Okay, but more importantly is took them 30 years of experimentation and R&D to finally produce this product. 30 years. So the sheer dedication and the technology to, first of all, you must have passion and perseverance to produce this, right? You must also have the manpower and skills to do that research, right? But more finally, to succeed in producing this is an achievement. So I was thinking, how come didn't win any Nobel Prize for producing this?
Yeah.
Remember, 2 Nobel Prize has been won for this product alone, cyclic AMP. But the discoverers and inventor of this product didn't win any Nobel Prize. How come?
Is it akan datang as in coming soon?
I hope so. But the idea is, this product, what is so special about it? It's involved in, so if you have low levels of cyclic AMP, you're more prone to 40 illnesses. So the thing is, about time you go to our website, Sinker, right? Website on TikTok, go to our
Sinker
website
Health.
and then go and find out more about this. Okay, I'll have to check whether they managed to tape and transmit that particular. I gave that talk just a few days ago. Okay, but you can understand why I'm so excited. Not just about against immunity. Those people with cancers, those people with illnesses tend to have low levels of this. So building this up helps in recovery. Building this up helps in preventing a lot of long-term, and especially for a friend whose friend has got COVID and now has brain fog, this will be ideal. Because in the research that they all discovered and mentioned in the Nobel Prize, its main interest was helping people with brain issues and poor memory to recover memory and recover brain function. Okay, there are a lot of other functions, but we'll talk about it another day. I'm excited already, Terry. Sooner or later, all of us will be using this.
That's good. Okay, if I can do a quick summary of this third segment, which brings us to the end of our 1 hour. What we have passes very fast. What I hear is this keyword called measurability. Whatever quality of life, improvement in whatever your condition is, first of all, it has to be measurable. And notably to me, even Reiki can measure your qi. As in the qi, which sounds like something ephemeral, invisible, it can measure.
Yeah, it can be measured.
Come to think of it, can be done. If windmill can measure wind speed, I think other things, if you even can't see, doesn't mean it doesn't exist, can be measured. That means we can measure our actual quality of life. But this needs some medical progress and some open-mindedness. So Dr. Jason shared with us what open-mindedness can bring us. First to doctors, they then discover what is good for their people. He went on to share about some of the very massive progress that he had witnessed from China by some of the research labs, and he pointed out some of these products, which I have also listed in our yellow card here. Feel free to shop, put it in your cart, or even check out. I think, though I haven't tried it myself, they do represent what in Dr. Jason's mind, the fruits of various kind of labels. It couldn't be due to one person, it probably is a team. And these teams are working together even if they don't win the kind of recognition that we thought they should well deserve. But time will tell. And let us be witness to this. So when you have a condition, let's say purine, you know what is it that you can point towards. And these are natural in the sense of we're using nutrition, food, and pharmaceutical techniques to bring them together. So you're not taking medicines, you're taking certain supplements that will help you add on to what your food should have helped you, but you may not be able to gain access to. Be it purine, be it bone, be it something to do with your stomach or general wellness of your mind, recovering from conditions like COVID and so on. At least we have more choices now. And I think that is measurably a very good step forward for us. 好，今天的第三个环节，我来总结一下最主要的一个字就是可测量。这里有个话是这样子讲的：一切没有测量、不可测量的，不可能会有进步，因为我们没有办法比较，而这个比较是从好到更好。 那我们的生活如果要从好到更好的话，我们要测量，哪怕是我们的底气啊、气场啊，都可以测量，也就意味着更好的生活是有迹可循的。于是 Dr. Jason 他就主张我们可以放开来，从各方面多吸收养分，知识的养分。因为当我们有知识的养分的时候，当医生跟你推荐或者主张你如何能更好的结合营养跟药剂学结合在一起的，从食物和食品得到疗效的时候，你就不会怕，你不会老是死死的在说可是为什么没有动手术，可是为什么没有给我药，因为这些都是不得已才给你的，可以的话何必呢？那可以的话为什么要你更加的痛苦呢？好，我们可以以更好的方法可以享受更好的生活，那也就意味着有人在孜孜不倦为我们做这方面的努力。于是从新科这里也来了这一连串跟锌这个锌有关系的你看到这些产品对我们都其实上架了你们随时可以把它放在购物车或者后面你来买单都 alright。就算这些之后在我的橱窗你可以看得到，尤其是新科 Health都是 Jason 有强调，我们到那 TikTok 里面去看，或者是网站去看，让自己可以科普一下，因为知识是力量。当你有知识的时候，你就懂得怎么去问问你的医生给你第一个意见或者第二个意见，你也懂得如何做更好的决定。说到测量这件事情我所知道 Dr. Jun 在这里，也就在新加坡台通这里呢，有一些设备，如果时间合适、条件合适的时候，是可以邀请大家来使用的。目前我还不知道，但我们问一下 Summer，在怎么样的情况底下，我们可以邀请一些朋友来这边做一些测量的东西。我们现在也邀请 Summer 进来Summer 你好。
你说那个用我们的仪器是吗？
是可以用吗？然后做测量式的东西。
我们有这个负离子仪器我们是可以用的这款机器。你要测什么？测那个浓度吗？它可以测负离子浓度的。我们有一款专业的仪器。好这一款机器呢，现在是我们最新款的。我们最高浓度。文俊老师，你觉得最高可以到多少？这款机器你猜一下。
不知道负离子浓度哇，给我们补负离子是吗？哇，把整个森林都带过来了吗？
森林你知道差不多2万个到5万个。但是你知道我们这款有多少？你知道吗？有22亿个。
22亿。
对，
那比森林还多好多
机器可以测的
哇
可以测的，就是这款机器，这是对于免疫系统、各种免疫系统的，或者是呼吸障碍的打呼噜的，还有一些可能直播间不能讲，比如说有的脚溃烂的，类似于糖尿病的地方，其实效果是非常好。
所以一来是可以测量是吧？二来又可以补这些负离子是吧？
对，
这样的东西
细胞补的。
好。
还有这一款，我们还有这款机器，这一款是疼痛管理的。
疼痛管理的。
这款我们也做了很多年了。还有你看它有腰痛的。腰痛的话呢，我们就把这一块我们这一块这样子绑在我们的腰上，对吗？它绑在腰上，就这样子绑腰上，就是它可以把我们腰椎压迫推开就那款谁用谁好。这一款的话它的力度很大从你压迫它推开，它是非常强的力量。还有手痛，你看，还有这种手痛，我们就用这个手棒，还有贴片，它总共有6件套。所以有2款机器2款机器结合我们的营养品。好的。这个机器要到我们中心来用的。
This is non-invasive again. The beauty of it is non-invasive.
I think that's a key point.
That's the key point.
Yeah. Okay. If I may just do a final thing, Summer， 因为我知道 Summer 也有安排，我也有安排。不过我们会有下周会有一场我们待定之后，我们再做确定，会给他们再做一个预告的。那就是其实大家如果今天从 Dr. Jason 这边学到的东西，又从 Summer 这一个空间里面，你知道你是可以选择有时间来的，那么你要关注我们的下一场的分享。同时大家关注2件事，一个就是主播给我留言说你很想多了解，我们就会主动告诉你下一场，甚至我们可以告诉你我们在哪里，在台通的哪里，你们可以来安排。那么这里的负责人中心负责人是 Summer， 所以大家也可以动手指到新科 Health XINGKE Health HEALTH 也在 TikTok 里面去关注，并且是发信息，直接跟他发信息找 Summer， 就是夏天嘛，你说 Summer 你的东西很有趣，我想多了解，或者你的仪器很特别，能够帮我解决疼痛方面的困扰吗？今天总结3个环节就是疼痛 chronic pain 是长期的疼痛，它不会那么快的不见掉。 可是它又不是突然间来的，事出必有因，冰冻三尺非一日之寒。那么我们可以带着能够 prevent 就是避免预防就是更好的治疗的方式，这样的一个心态，我们向 Dr. Jason 学，我们也向 Summer 请教，我相信我们的生活的素质会越来越好的今天我们就凭着这样子，我想结束今天。不过在这之前，我想问一下 Dr. Jason 有观察和补充吗？Do you have anything to add or to remind us?
Number one, the most important thing. Every morning that you get up, be grateful. Thank God or whatever God you perceive, whatever religion. But remember, gratefulness have been studied and found to be very important. The other thing is every day spend time with family and friends. Because the next thing they found was people with relationships, people who have friendship with others, relationship are the ones who live the longest, have a long, happy life. So happiness is not just about them. I'm not saying money is not important, but happiness is about relationships and being grateful for what you have, including being grateful for your health. Okay? So take care, have a good day, have a good weekend. God bless.
All right, thank you, Dr. Jason. 他说最好的良药很可能就是在我们人与人之间的关系当中处得好，那是良药。很好。Summer 你有补充吗？你来。
我有补充，我就希望你们到我们健康中心来看看我们的产品，体验我们的仪器，来成为我们的合作伙伴。然后第一个给到你健康，第二个的话呢，我们可以成为事业伙伴然后第三个，希望你来我们这边喝茶聊天。
Yes, sir. So thank you very much to Terry also for being such a grateful host. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, spending this 1 hour with us. I'm very thankful. Okay. Bye bye.
谢谢 Dr. Jason， 谢谢 Summer。我们会有第二场稍后会给大家做个预告，大家可以留言或者关注，或者是私发微信给我给 Summer，也关注新科 Health。OK， 下回见，拜拜。
Take care. God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Jason， 谢谢 Summer。OK， 我们先结束这里啦，拜拜。
拜拜。
好 ，So to end, yeah, take care, everyone. We'll see you again real soon. All right, till we meet.